Good afternoon, and welcome to listening exercises for week 5. You need to have your answer sheet ready and a pen or pencil. The first examples will be same or different examples. You need to listen to 2 examples of music and decide if they are same or different. There are no practice exercises this time as we are getting really good at this. So listen to the 2 pieces of music. If you think they are the same, put an S in question number 1. If you think they are different, you put a D. Here we go. Question 1. Example A. Question 1. Example B. If you think they were the same, put an S for same. If you think they were different, put a D for different. Here is question 2, example A. Question 2, example B. Question 3, example A. Question 3, example B. Same or different. Question 4, same or different. Example A. Question 4, example B. Question 5, example A. Question 5, example B. Question 6, example A. Question 6, example B. Question 7, example A. Question 6, example B. Question 7, example A. Question 7, example B. Question 8, example A. Question 8, example B. Question number 9 has a pattern. There are high notes and low notes. You have to put a H for high and an L for low. Here is an example. This is a high note. This is a low note. So a pattern like the following one would sound like this. That pattern was H, H, L, 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 because it went high, high, low, low, low. Listen to it again. Okay, here is our question number 9, which uses high and low notes. Put H for high and L for low. There will be 4 notes in the first question. Check your answer. Question number 10 is high and low pattern, but this time there are 5 notes. You will hear the pattern twice. Now, question 11. You will hear the pattern twice. Here is question 12. This time there are 6 notes. You will hear the pattern twice. Here we go. Question 13 has 7 notes, so you better be listening. You will hear each pattern twice. Here is the 7-note pattern. Question 14 also has 7 notes. You will hear it played twice. Here we go. Question 15 has 8 notes, and they're played a little bit faster. You will hear the 8-note pattern twice. Question 16 has 10 notes, so you better be concentrating. You might hear a pattern in the example. It will be played twice. For the next questions, we need to think more deeply about music. In the next question, you will be asked to decide if the music sounds like a question mark or a full stop. Try and imagine whether the music sounds like a question mark or a full stop. Here is the piece of music. Is it a question mark or a full stop? Here it is again. Please fill in the gap on your answer sheet for question number 17. You will need to write full stop or question mark, depending on what you think the music is saying. Question number 18 is asking you if the piece of music sounds like an argument or a story. So you need to listen and decide whether it sounds like an argument or a story. Here is the beginning of the music. Now you can write on your answer sheet what you think this music is sounding like, whether it sounds like a story or whether it sounds like an argument. The second part of the question asks you what you can see when you hear the music. You might like to describe a picture you can see when you hear the music. Try to answer in a full sentence. Here's the music again. For question 20, we need to look at the list of adjectives. Let's read the adjectives together. Confident, dreamy, energetic, convincing, unsure, fantasy, gliding, flying, floating, falling, screaming, listening, asking, crying, pleading, shouting. For question number 20, you will need to listen to the music and then write a sentence or two which describes the music or what you see in your head, and you can choose from the adjectives list or make up your own adjectives. So you listen to the music, and then you might say, in my head I can see a, or you might say, this music sounds, and then you describe the music. Or you can do both of those things. Here is the music. Please write some sentences which describe the music. Here it is again. Listen to the next piece of music, which you have heard before. Decide whether you think it is an argument or a narrative. Listen to the music and see if it's an argument or a narrative. Then write a sentence which says, I think the music is, and then you write what your answer is. So you need to make a decision about whether you think it is a story or it sounds like someone arguing. Please write down your answer in a sentence. This is question number 21. Here is question number 22. In this piece of music, you have to decide whether the main idea of the music, which is usually a tune or a melody, you have to decide whether the main idea comes at the very start of the music or whether there is an introduction. So you will listen to the music and decide whether there is an introduction before the main tune or whether the main tune starts right at the very beginning. Here is the piece of music. In question 23, we are asked to listen to the music and to try and decide how many main ideas there are in the music. You will need to decide whether the music starts with a main idea or whether it starts with an introduction and then the main idea comes later. Or you might say the main idea comes twice, but it's changed around a little bit. Or you might say there are three main ideas. It's up to you to listen to the music and decide how many main ideas you can hear. It sounds a little bit like a persuasive text. When the main idea begins, we call this the exposition of the idea, because the idea is shown to the listener. Okay, here is the music. Try and count how many different ideas there are and whether any ideas are repeated. So what this question is asking you to do is to analyze the piece of music. That means we're pulling it apart and we are describing something about each part. You need to decide whether there is an introduction or whether the main tune starts straight away. And you need to be able to describe the music. Does it sound bright? Does it sound sad? Does it sound lazy? Does it sound big? Does it sound small? Any words you like to describe. So you need to take 2 or 3 sentences to describe the music. You also might like to say or describe a picture which comes into your head when you hear this music. What kind of character can you see? So now you have a chance to write 2 or 3 sentences which describe the music and the ideas which are exposed in this music. Here is the music again to listen to before you start writing. You might like to take a couple of notes just to remind you of what you're going to write about. This is our last question, so do a good job of it. Thank you.